We got some brand new news from Weibo. Some third-party characters have been revealed, and again, it breaks out of what third-party people normally do, which is unfortunately usually always Generation 1 Transformer characters. But it looks like the company Transform and Roll Out has released some images of what looks like their second release since they've done their Masterpiece Scale Jazz a couple of years ago. I'm not too familiar with the quality of their work, so I don't know how well this is going to turn out. But what we have here is, which is starting to become, thankfully, a common trend, yet another third-party Galaxy Force / Cybertron character. And in this case, that of Optimus Prime, also known as Galaxy Convoy in Galaxy Force. And it looks pretty damn good, if you ask me.
Yeah, very, very anime standing stature kind of looking, I find.
Now, the thing is that, like, we had this same discussion when, like, Hasbro did their official, like, and I don't even want to say their official version, more just like their own take on it. The original toy, the original Galaxy Force toy / Cybertron Leader Class Optimus Prime was a pretty damn good toy to begin with, and a pretty spot-on representation of the character on the show. In that Galaxy Force was one of those shows that, because of its rigid CG that was used by Studio Gonzo, a lot of the animation models were pretty much based on the toys.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
So they were pretty accurate. Now, obviously, you know, the show had a lot of Gal Geiger-esque kind of influence and stuff. So certain characters were, you know, sometimes a little more sleeker than their toy counterparts. I know Nitro Convoy is a good example. Even the likes of, I'll call Master Megatron and Master Galvatron in the Japanese version, like, you know, had slightly slimmer design. And the same kind of applies here also to Galaxy Force, Optimus Prime, Galaxy Convoy, whatever you want to call him, Cybertron Optimus Prime. So what this tries to do pretty much is add a little bit of that slimness, add a little bit of that, you know, extension to that. But otherwise, pretty much, I mean, the way I look at it here, it's 100% the same engineering of the original toy. Now, in terms of size, it says here, according to the information here, the figure stands 24 centimeters tall in robot mode and 28 centimeters tall in combined super mode. Now, I'm looking at my original one, and keep in mind, like, it says here 28 centimeters when it's in the super mode. So 30 centimeters would be an entire ruler. I'm thinking this pretty much is exactly the same height as the original toy. If not maybe a centimeter more or less. I mean,
I think usually rulers, I think, are 30 centimeters.
Yeah, they're 30 centimeters, exactly.
Yeah, so this is just shy of that, I think.
Yeah, so it's
about just 2 centimeters in super robots. I mean, that's not bad.
So it's something that, like, on top of that, it's not like you're getting something that's either significantly smaller or significantly larger than the original toy too. So what it falls onto then is price, which we don't know yet. So I'm really curious how much they're going to be asking for this, because what you're getting is a slightly more stylized anime version of a character that really the original toy did everything in terms of show accuracy already. So it's really just kind of like tweaking. It's like comparing MP10 Optimus Prime to the new MP version 3.0 that's going to be coming up of Convoy. Where it really is slight proportion changes, but otherwise it gets the job done. So it really is semantics at this point. I mean, the one thing that I think really is noticeable and different between, say, the original and this one is the wings are massive.
Yeah.
They're very almost, Victory Saber, Star Saber kind of spanned out. But otherwise, I mean, again, and I love the original mold. I have it like multiple times in display in my collection just because of the multiple ways that Optimus could combine with all his little combiner friends. And I mean, it's easily one of the best Optimus Prime toys ever made. I mean, when it first came out, it really was like in the top 3 for the longest time. And so now this exists, and it's kind of these things where I go, okay, well, a complete Galaxy Force, aka Cybertron Optimus Prime, goes for about $60 online, American, sometimes more, sometimes less. So it's something where I go, what are they going to be asking for this? What are they going to be doing that would make you go to yourself, why should I buy this? What is the purpose of this? Outside of being like a hardcore fan of Galaxy Force. And Galaxy Force is in like my top 3 favorite Transformer series. It's definitely up there. You know what I mean? It kind of like switches in between with Master Force, but it's definitely up there. It's some of my favorites. And even though I'm a big fan of that design, I'm a big fan of that show, it kind of makes me go, if this thing was like, let's say $150, I'd kind of go, I don't really see the reason if you already own the original toy.
Right.
You got to really, really, really love this design and really love that character. And even then, like I said, you kind of already got it. And then, you look at what, Siege has done, and we have the leader class Optimus that also turns into this design. And it's just kind of like, and that right now is kicking around, I guess, $49.99 American, $59.99 Canadian. It's something that you just got to ask yourself, like, where does this fit from a product standpoint? Because if people haven't picked up the original more than, God, it's like 15 years ago, or in the secondary market recently, if people haven't picked up the Siege one yet in retail today, I guess this targets the market that just wants to have a more, I guess, pristine, more prestige, upper quality version. I mean, because again, like, is this a masterpiece version of the character? Not really. I wouldn't call it an MP scaled kind of version of the character either. It really is kind of
the vibe I'm getting of it is just like we were just saying is the original one is more of a CGI kind of look, sort of kind of like chunky.
Yep.
And then this one seems more like a svelte, like if they actually did like
also to be fair,
art, like if they actually drew it out kind of art style.
Also to be fair, a product of the time too, because to really pinpoint it, that Galaxy Force Optimus Prime was probably engineered, I want to say, in 2004. So, Classics would still be another 2 years away. And even Classics was still kind of chunky when it first hit the scene.
Wasn't it Universe 2.0 kind of? Or that's, yeah, you're right. It's 2 years away. It would have been Universe.
Yeah, just Classics.
Yeah, it would have been
just Classics.
It would have been the tail end of that trilogy, no?
Well, because, that's just it. You had like, in 2006 was when really Cybertron hit American soil, because obviously it was Galaxy Force in Japan the year prior. And it's just, it kind of like that was the end of that, and then we went into 2007 with the movie stuff, and then into animated. So it's, to me, it's like, again, it makes me wonder who this belongs to and who would be interested. I mean, if someone in the comments, if there's something I'm missing here, like if this really appeals to you and this really interests you, tell me why, especially if you're someone who already owns the original toy, because otherwise, I mean, again, I love this design. I love this design and the show that it came from, but it doesn't really make much sense to me otherwise.